The teachers love ReadyGEN.
I feel empowered to take it to a level that I would have been scared to before. I might have said, oh, I don't think they could do that.
The look on his face when she responded to him was priceless.
We were teaching guided reading, and that's when students were really participating in books that were not necessarily on grade level. Teachers were doing whole group instruction, and we were hoping to try to incorporate some guided reading groups, and they struggled with that. And then when Ohio adopted the Common Core standards, which were at a much higher level than what we had seen before, and we knew that the instruction that we were providing needed to be ramped up. We needed to be more rigorous in our instruction, and we weren't quite sure how to do that.
We were using a basal, and the students were reading a story a week and answering questions and taking the assessments that were included in that anthology. Most of the teachers knew from the beginning that that was not necessarily the most effective resource or strategy. We didn't have a great mix of fiction and nonfiction, and our teachers were going to need significant professional development on how to do close reading. And if the students reading at a lower level, there just really isn't enough meat in the text to have a student go back and find something or to compare it to something else.
We were at a crossroads. We kept asking different publishers, what do you have? What's out there? We would look at different programs and say, no, that's not quite it. I get other school districts calling us now and asking, how is ReadyGEN working for you? Why are you making it successful? And one of the main things is that students on IEP, students who are struggling readers, are still participating in everything that their peers are participating in a reading lesson. She's got a non-reader in that classroom who can still participate in above grade level conversation and reading. Through ReadyGEN, they're able to participate in every single lesson.
They understand the vocabulary, they are able to contribute to the discussion, they understand the content, so they're making connections to science and social studies that they would have been denied before because their guided reading books would have been so low level. It's exciting to hear my science and social studies teachers ask, can we pace our content so that we're teaching about insects at the same time that the English language arts teachers are doing books about insects in ReadyGEN. So there's a cross-curricular tie that's just happened naturally. On the other end, the quality of the writing is phenomenal.
They are seeing higher level writing, more writing, writing with details.
I had a teacher who was retiring, and at the end of that school year, she came to me at her retirement dinner and said, thank you so much for being willing to go out on the ledge and take a risk, but in the long run will be the best thing for our students. Another thing that it's doing for us is our younger teachers who have only taught with the new standards love ReadyGEN. They love what they're seeing with their students, and so they're so passionate about it that they're helping our more experienced teachers.
What I see is not just students that are learning to read, but students that are learning to be readers. I see the knowledge that I've given them in this text, and then they use it when they're reading the other text, as well as their fluency improving.
His trip for a magazine, and he took along 3 animal experts to ship back
their interest in books and their ability to use information. Because we pick apart these texts so closely and we read them so closely, they use the vocabulary, they use the topic knowledge in our other subjects.
And we're hearing stories like that from all of our classrooms, kindergarten through 5th grade. Stories of students who are struggling readers, but with this program are not denied access to content and to interesting content because they're reading something just on their level, which may be several grade levels behind. So when we adopt something new or they learn a new strategy, hearing from them that it's working with children is the most rewarding part of the job.
One of the biggest differences with ReadyGEN is how I read the text to them first.
And it was an adventure. Teddy was brave and curious.
It's a powerful thing for children to hear modeled reading. You hit your struggling readers as well as your advanced readers. Another big thing is the higher level questioning that this program asks. They really force the kids to think at a way higher level than you would expect them to be able to. They have to understand the text, understand the higher level words in the text, and then make connections in that text to their own experiences. They have to connect back to what we read 3 days ago. You give them the opportunity, and your results are amazing.
The first year after we implemented ReadyGEN, we were still giving the Ohio Achievement Assessment. So we had prior year's data for that. And usually during the first year of an implementation, you expect a decrease. That was not the case for us. Our scores went up at every grade level. And not only did they go up, but we had over 52% of our students in the advanced category, which we hadn't had before. We attribute that really to ReadyGEN